What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports Show. Man, we've got a big show lined up for you today. We're going to talk about the NFL, or NFC and AFC championship games, is what I wanted to say. Also, we're going to get into horse racing with the Pegasus World Cup and Southwest Stakes. You're ready, right? You are prepared.
Sure, I'm prepared. I'm always prepared. Of course.
All right. Well, let's just get right into it. I think we got a pretty busy show today, so we might as well just get right into it. By the way, I'm going to show you this. This is now on our website. As you see here at the top, it says Racing News. That's right. So you can go to the sports site and then on the menu, click on live odds, and you can get live odds for every sport. As you see here, I can click this drop down and you can get NFL, you can get NCAA basketball, NBA, anything you want right there with the live odds. So that's another new feature to the site. Hope you guys use and enjoy that. But it's good for us too because we can put it up on the screen as we do the shows. So we'll kick it off with the first game listed here, and that's going to be the Bengals and the Chiefs. And as you see right here, the line opened at 7, and if you scroll across here, there's a few sports books that have it at 7.5, but most of them have it still at 7. So Kansas City, a 7-point favorite at home against the Bengals. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I can't believe you're not going to talk about our gambling from last night.
Well, you can. I mean, yeah.
Later or what? I mean, my gosh, what kind of a night? I'm ready to go to anywhere with the money we made last night.
It was very good last night. You hit your parlay in the NCAA basketball. You hit your parlay in the NBA. Did you miss any NBA games last night?
No, one. Yeah, that's right. Amazing. And so do you want to just save that to when we talk a little basketball towards the end here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So what was the question? We're doing the Bengals and the Chiefs, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Well, I said on Monday's show that I was going to try to come up with something to make a case for the Bengals in this game. And I can't really make a case for them, I don't think. I might be able to make a case for them beating the spread, maybe. I don't think I can make a real good case for them to win without looking kind of foolish. So let's just kind of go down and through it here and see if we agree. Burrow has been fantastic. I think we'd agree with that, right?
Yep.
But who are you going to give, whatever team comes in there, what quarterback are you going to give the edge to over Mahomes?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody. So I think Burrow is good enough to win this game. Unfortunately, he's going up against Mahomes. So you got to give the edge to Kansas City. I think in the running game, I think the Bengals definitely have the edge there. I think Mixon is pretty underrated. I think he can make a game or two or make a play or two in this game. Mm-hmm. I think he's legit. The receiving core, again, you just can't go against the Chiefs. Those guys are just dynamic. They really are.
Yeah.
So it comes down to this. The Bengals are an up-and-coming underrated team, I think. I think they're underrated. Will the Chiefs have a letdown? What do you think? Do you think they might let down a little bit after that Buffalo game? I think sometimes it's hard not to after a game like that.
Yeah, as Mark says, the Chiefs, if they lose this game of last weekend's epic match, it'll be one of the biggest letdowns I recall. Yeah, and they could. I think it is possible that they let down a bit in this game. I don't know, though. I mean, we're still talking about a team that's playing to go to the Super Bowl. You know, right. I think any kind of letdown will be short-lived in this one. But
you wouldn't think they would let down. You wouldn't think.
No.
But it's normal. it's natural to
Yeah.
let down a little bit after a game that everybody in the country is still talking about. And then you got everybody that you come in contact with. I don't know how much contact they're coming with people with COVID, but telling them, "Oh, you got it, guys. You got it.
Yeah.
You won the
Yeah.
game. You beat the team you had to beat. You're in," and all that. So I'm thinking they might have a little bit, but I don't know if it's significant. The thing that I really think is the difference. I don't think Cincinnati's defense is as good as Buffalo's.
Yeah.
And Buffalo scored 36 points last week. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bengals can score 36. Burrow is good, but what is the difference between him and Allen? Allen can run,
Yeah.
and Burrows doesn't. I think that's the difference. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they cover.
It's a little bit different of an offense that that Cincinnati brings in. Try to say Kansas City and Cincinnati at the same time. They're not good. It's a little bit different defense or offense that Cincinnati brings in here, right?
Yes.
They can't run with the quarterback, but their running back, talk about Joe Mixon, is better than Singletary.
Mhm.
Their weapons. Chase is a better weapon than anything they had to defend last week. Them being the Chiefs. So there's some issues, some different issues. I think Joe Burrow in this offense has success. I'm with you. I just don't think it's enough. And you look at the first time these two played, Cincinnati did win, but I mean, they never really stopped the Chiefs. Really, I like all game long. It's like, yeah, they're kind of doing whatever they want to do on them. The Chiefs got some bad calls, and Cincinnati beat them.
Mhm.
I just don't see a world where that happens.
Oh, I
this
didn't
time.
even look. I'm not even looking at that game, Aaron.
Yeah.
Are you really? Are you even looking at it? I don't think you can.
I didn't look at it when it happened, really, and I still don't really take it very serious. The Bengals really needed to win. They were at
Yeah.
home. I mean, a lot of different stuff. No, I don't take it very seriously at all. And I just, again, it came down to this. I think the Chiefs are 7 points better, and then they have Patrick Mahomes, and if he plays like he did last week, I think they cover. I think it's that
do
simple.
too. And you brought this up Monday. In the early part of that game, the Bills would have stuffed anybody else but the Chiefs because of Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you mentioned that Monday? They had everything covered in the early part of that game, first half.
Yep.
And he just kept making play after play after play with his feet or
Yep.
whatever he needed to do. If he's zoned in, and he's the one guy that I don't think will let down.
Yeah.
That guy, he's unique. There's no question about it. We're watching as good a players I think I've ever seen, as dynamic a player as I've ever seen in the NFL over the years. I can't think of anybody that's more dynamic than him. When you think about all the great quarterbacks over the years, nobody can do what this guy does.
Nope.
He can beat you in so many ways. And he's more dangerous with his feet, I think, than he is his arm. I really believe that.
Yep. Yeah. Early in that game, he was just running away from people, making people miss. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then they kind of tried to get away from that, and then he passed them silly. I mean, to me, it's just like I look at the teams left. It's like, okay, the Rams have the front that might be able to disrupt them. It's going to take something incredible up front to beat them, and I don't think Cincinnati can do it. So, to get to some of the comments, Sylvian said, not in a playoff game are they going to let down, and that's probably true as well. I would tend to agree with that. Mark said it's not an insult to Cincinnati, but the Chiefs just won an insane game, and Cincy beat a Titans team where Tannehill gave it away with picks. So yeah, I mean, there's arguments for both sides of it, but again, I think I lean towards more it's a playoff game. Maybe they come out and it's like, yeah, they're not sharp immediately, but they will get there. No question about it.
The main player is going to be sharp.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not. Yeah, that's just it. And Mahomes will be ready. There's no question about that. Imagine said, sorry, he's late. He's still recovering from last Nighthausen. That's right. That is right. Danhausen made his AEW debut last night. It was amazing. I jumped up and screamed when I saw him. Dennis said Trustyhausen was Drunkhausen when it happened. So everybody in the wrestling world very excited about that. So what is the news on Matthew's concussion protocol? And our resident Chiefs reporter, Jared Welch, says Honey Badger will play, Isaac. And the Chiefs also getting defensive tackle Saunders back. So there you go.
And that guy knows. I think he's in the clubhouse right now.
That's right. Yeah, Jared definitely would know. I trust it. If one of you other guys would have put that up there, right, I probably wouldn't have put it. But Jared knows. Yeah, Honey Badger being back is a big, big, big thing.
Oh,
big
it
thing.
is.
Their weakness is in the back end of the defense. He shores some of it up. He can't cover the whole field. His half of the field is pretty shored up when he plays. When he's out, they're not good back there. They could get exposed. Him being back is going to be huge. That's another reason I'm leading the Chiefs. One thing I want to talk about real quick is the over-under in this game. As you see, I could flip from the spread to the over-under on the new widget on the site. 54 and a half for this game. What do you think? Over-under for this one?
You know me. I always go under a line that high. That's just 11 points. And it could get there. You know, it's possible. I just don't know that the Bengals are going to score that much. I don't know. What they make last week? 19?
Yeah.
They're going to have to score 35 to win. I don't know. You know?
That's the bet. Kansas City will do their part. Do the Bengals do their part to get you over? I think that's the key to that. So your decision, your play on this over-under is based solely on what you think Cincinnati can score. Because if you think Kansas City's not scoring, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to score in this game.
I think so, too. I don't like Cincinnati's defense. I don't think they're that good. You know, and Buffalo's was. And here's the deal. They scored 36 points, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. If Cincinnati scores, or if Kansas City scores 36, it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah. Josh Eubank says, love the Blues gear, Papa Dude. That's right. Yeah. Huge Blues fans here. If you
got to get up there and see a game here before long.
Oh, yeah. Dennis says you're losing faith more and more as we talk about the wrestling. And I totally agree here with Magic. Leave a like, Housen, and make sure you subscribe, Housen, to our website or to our YouTube. So
that's pretty good. I don't know what that means. I like Jared's. I guess he's referring to the wrestling.
Yes.
And who the hell is that, Jared?
Well, I tell you what. Just one more thing. Maybe we'll get to. We got business to take care of.
All right. Okay. All right.
So, one last question on this, then we'll go on. Who do you think has a better defense, Tennessee or Kansas City?
Well, statistically, it's Tennessee. I think at times the Chiefs are pretty good. When they're healthy, they can do some stuff. They're pretty fast. They do a lot of stuff. I would, if I was a offensive coordinator, I would fear the Chiefs more than I would Tennessee, I think.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Chiefs have a little bit more of an explosive defense, if that makes sense. They can make things happen. And, you know, I think forcing turnovers obviously huge in a game like this. And it's huge for the Chiefs to force turnovers, knowing that you probably aren't going to get a lot of turnovers from the Chiefs, at least from the quarterback spot. As long as the running backs hold on to the ball, usually you're in good shape there. So, all right, let's move on, though. We can't talk about that.
What, though, Aaron, Mark is on fire today with some of these comments. I was dying laughing at some of this.
Yeah. Mark says dudes who watch wrestling would have a lot less viewers, but the few viewers would be dedicated. I don't know.
He also made a comment about scroll up a little bit about
right here?
Yeah. I like this one.
For Tyrone, they show him a YouTube video, and if he can identify it's a honey badger, he's cleared.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, that may be unofficial information. Don't take that one to the bank. All right, let's move on, though. We got one more to talk about today, and that is the 49ers and the Rams. And like I said, new widget, you can see it opens at 3.5, and it looks like, every single book still has this as a 3.5-point favorite for the Los Angeles Rams. So the Rams 3.5-point favorites at home, but 3 weeks, what was that? 3 weeks ago now, they actually got beat to the 49ers on their home field. Will the Niners do it again, Papa Dude?
Okay. Now this line has stayed solid all week. I believe it's been 3.5 the entire time.
It has.
Every time I've looked,
Yep.
it's 3.5. So this is not moving. So obviously, Vegas has got this about right where they want it. Okay. I'm going to go through this, and I'm sick and tired of hearing how bad Jimmy Garoppolo is, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get him beat. Okay. He's not as good as Stafford. We know that, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, here it is. Okay, the last 3 weeks, they went to LA and they won with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
They went to Dallas and they won with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
They went to Green Bay and they won with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
So if they get beat this week, it ain't going to be because of him. It's going to be because the Rams are a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you might do something dumb, but they've won 3 games. How many teams besides the Chiefs could go in and do what they did the last 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know very many could do that, what they've done. So there's a lot of things to like about the Niners in this game. They have beat the Rams 6 straight times. The Rams haven't beat them since 2018. They beat them twice this year. Do they have their number? I'd say yes on that. Home field, it ain't going to be a home field.
No.
It's going to be at least 50-50.
Yep.
At least. So that's not an advantage. The law of averages might be an advantage.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep beating the same team over and over and over again. They might be a little tired. Maybe they might be a little tired. I mean, God, that's 3 tough games in a row to go do. But the Rams had to go to Tampa. So that's not really an advantage. It's going to come down to, and here's the other thing. The Niners defense is not going to be better than the Rams defense.
Yeah.
And they've had a little bit of an advantage defensively. At Dallas and at Green Bay too. So can't really give them much of an edge there. It's the dynamic offense of the Rams. If they don't make mistakes and give the Niners some points, I think they cover this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Rams because I just feel like they're better than the 49ers all over the field. I just think they are. But the 49ers are a gritty, tough team. They're not going to choke in this game.
Yeah, the biggest key for that, in my opinion, why the Niners compete really well with the Rams, you have to run the ball well against their front.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, and they can tee off on your quarterback, he's dead.
Yep.
And that's the key. They can run it, and they will do that. And that's why Jimmy G is still a factor in this game. I'm not going to go all the way and say, well, he's going to have to make some plays, but if they can run it, they can kind of limit what he has to do. End of the day, Jared and I talked about this last week. It's tough to beat a good team twice, right? It's really tough to beat a good team 3 times.
It really is.
I just have to lean toward the Rams. The last time these two played, the Rams had this game blown out and blew it. And I wanted to say that to get to Mark's point. Yeah, I am worried about the Rams blowing leads because they do it all the time.
Yes, they do.
I mean, that last week was incredibly, just the biggest choke job I've ever watched. They were trying to give that away. 49ers game was similar. So that does worry me. At the end of the day, though, I just think the Rams are a better team. I think Stafford is able to make a couple plays, that Jimmy G just can't. It's a grinded out offense versus a flash offense. I'm taking the Rams minus the 3.5.
I think we both are. And I like the law of averages sometimes too. I just think I know it's kind of dumb, but I just don't think they can keep beating them. Yeah. I think it's too much to ask. I really do. But Stafford is going to have to make plays, and somebody here Mark made a very good point. He's never been in this situation. Now he's played okay these first 2 games. Should have the jitters out of his system a little bit. And another key, can the 49ers get to him with their pass rush? Because their pass rush is as good as anybody's.
Yeah.
this is going to be a slugfest. I think this is really, of the two games, I'm looking more forward to this one.
As far as it being a good game, I would
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree. Let's see. Cooper Cup under 102.5 receiving yards, but you got to let someone else beat you, in my opinion. So yeah, you're kind of banking on the fact that hey, they're gonna do everything they can to keep Cup, kind of bottled up and let somebody else try to beat you. That seems to make sense
Yeah.
on what you're gonna do. It's tough to do that though. So
We'll see. I would have thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have done that in the last part of the game after they tied it.
Exactly. Yeah. Jared says the fact that Diddy Do likes the Bengals gives him a lot of confidence for the Chiefs on Sunday. Isaac says, what if it's the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? I think that would easily be the most entertaining of the matchups. You'll have to tune in and a week or two and find out. Can't make that decision just yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And let's see.
Got a very good point down here. It's the last comment, too.
Yeah, I said, can we just have the Chiefs Bill play best of 3 series to crown Super Bowl champion instead? Yeah, I wish we could. The damnedest thing about it, both of those teams were not the top seed of the AFC. So both of those teams just had they both, it wasn't at the same time, but they both had gaps in the season where they just kind of, looking back, it's like, did they just dick around and not take those opponents seriously for 4 or 5 games? It's crazy they were in that situation.
It really was.
Well, and one more thing, I was thinking about the Bills.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about, hey, let's, how can they turn the corner against the Chiefs? How about you get home field advantage? That would really help if you're not on the road. I mean, I think it's really important they get home field advantage.
And they don't play. Okay, New England was pretty good, obviously, in their division. They split with them. It's not that they play in a bad division.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is they had a shot at getting home field.
Oh, yeah.
And the Titans took advantage of their division. They went 6-0 in their division. Yeah. And they snuck in there, and you got to give them credit. But everybody knew the 2 best teams played Sunday night in Kansas City. We all knew that.
It was one of those unique situations where we all knew it and we all said it, and it actually came true. A lot of times you talk, oh, these 2 teams are not any good and these 2 teams are, and then you get the game. It's like, wow, we were wrong. If we were right, I mean, that was the best 2 teams that played last weekend. So,
yeah, maybe the best 2 in the league. Who knows? In the whole NFL, maybe. I don't know.
This is funny. Serious question. I just answered what I think the number one thing's got to be. They need to get that home field advantage. I think
the difference.
It's tough enough beating the Chiefs anyway. You got to go to Arrowhead to do it. It's impossible right now. So I think home field advantage, and I mean, injuries, I think, is the answer to anything when it's that close. But yeah, home field advantage overall.
And maybe not piss down your leg the last 13 seconds.
Well, that's
whatever the hell they want and go down the field. I think that might be the answer.
And I agree with Mark. The Bills have the Dolphins and the Jets. I mean, they should have been better than what their record was. Chiefs got out really slow.
They didn't play well early.
Yeah. Oh no, and talking about this game too. Yeah, they did kind of start slow. So yeah, Bengals might come out and get the lead at that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not confident in that. So.
Dennis, they got to go if they can't pay Kelsey and Hill and others, but I think they've got them locked up, don't they?
Yeah, I think so too. That would be if they lost Hill.
Oh God.
I think they would become just a good team. I just feel like the presence of Hill changes everything. Yeah. So, yeah, just like Heather tells me all the time, 13 seconds is a lot of time, Papa Dude. Come on.
Jared, you're not on here much. We don't go that right. We don't go that way on here. This is a family-rated show. And fortunately, most of our viewers didn't understand that. So.
Yeah, just Dennis. Denny do understood it. All right. I want to quickly kind of show you again what we're doing before we transition into the Pegasus. You can go right now. Look, if you go to the other sports tab, we got free picks pages for all the sports now that are happening. You can click on it and you see Papa Dude and myself have the hockey picks up tonight. You go to the NFL picks, I believe. Yeah, Magic has got his up there as well. So we basically have a graph with all of our picks for each night for each of these sports. So a lot of fun. And like Papa Dude said, he went like 9-1. Look at this overall record. He's 16-3 in the NBA. So
That's
he's
just
doing,
for the last 2 nights.
well, it's still that's impressive. And like I said,
I know.
NCAA basketball, we don't do them all. We just try to do the ones we kind of like. So there's those, and then obviously the live odds that I was just on. You can go down here, like I said, you can go to any sport there. You go to the NHL, you can go NCAA basketball, and you can even go to MMA if you want to bet that. I hadn't looked at that yet. Oh, no lines available yet for the MMA. I know Ricky used to bet soccer. There's soccer there. And then the NBA as well tonight. And now, like I said, that'll always be updating as the lines change and also as new lines are put up. So pretty cool, Papa Dude.
I do like it. Yeah, I don't understand half of it, but I do like it.
Oh, you do too. You don't understand the technology behind how we did it.
I know. I know. I'm having fun. Since basketball started, because we were talking the other day. Yeah. Football is my passion, but it's just a game on Sunday and a game on Saturday. It's a game just a couple of days. Every once in a while there's some, the college games through the week, but they're not. It's not a big deal. Yeah, this is every night.
Yep.
And I tell you, I am sweating. I am sitting there and just. The time just flies by. Next thing I know, it's 10 o'clock.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same. It's getting really bad because I'm watching horse racing all through the day and then this shit all night. And it's like, oh, God.
I kind of feel guilty. I kind of do. But
anyway. What are you going to do? Yeah, I was hating it, typing all of it out. But then we got this. I'm like, I love it. I get up ready to do it every day. So, thank you, Dennis. We've put a lot of work into this. I think it's going to be pretty big. So
Mark asked if I hit Wyoming covering.
Oh, yep.
No, Mark, that was a game that was just a little too close for me to wager anything on because in college basketball, man, you got to watch it. You try to find some games where you're pretty darn sure they're going to win, and betting the money line, you got to make sure they're going to win those games. So that one was a little too tight. For me, that spread would have been hard to hit.
Yeah, you didn't bet that one. You did not bet that one. That would have been a tough one. Look at me here trying to find. Here we go. All right. Without any further ado, I know this is a sports show, but it's a big weekend in horse racing, and we've got the Southwest Stakes from Oaklawn, which obviously we will talk about. But the big one is the Pegasus World Cup. Papa Dude is in the guide. If you want Papa Dude's picks, his top 4. Picks for all 7 of the stakes races at the Gulfstream, you can get that guide. Pre-sale still going on. Full guide's going to be available, I would say, in the next 3-4 hours, I would say, maybe less. I think we're about got that thing wrapped up. Anyway, let's move on, though. Pegasus World Cup, you analyzed this one. It's the huge matchup. Knicks Go taking on Life is Good. Who did you go with?
Well, now, I'm just going to go with the horse. There's 2 horses, in my opinion. We were talking off air, and you are much more. Now, you want to listen to him a lot more than you do me on these. I'll tell you for sure. He's the guy, and all of these guys on Racing Dudes that pick these, fantastic. Although I usually do decent on these big races.
You're pretty good in the big races. Yeah.
I usually hold my own okay in these. I was shocked that they didn't draw a better field, and not that these horses are bad, and Aaron kind of told me it's because of the 2 that we're all going with kind of kept everybody away. But this is a $3 million purse, and 3rd place is $300,000. So I would have thought it would have drawn a little bit better. 2-horse racing, I guess everybody's opinion. Anybody that's following this, if you disagree with us, let us know here.
Oh, they will.
And you were kind of analyzing it for me last night after I'd already made my pick, which is fine, and that's okay. I probably would not have changed anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Knicks Go. I like the other one a lot, but he doesn't run at this distance all the time, right?
Yeah, he has
Like,
never. Life is Good has never ran at a mile and an eighth.
okay, and that kind of well, he doesn't even run at a mile and a 16th too often. He's
Yeah,
better at a mile, isn't he? And that
yeah, his last few races have been 7 furlongs or a mile. Yes.
right. So that kind of made me lean a little bit towards Nick's go. But if I was the connections, I would be very, very afraid of Life is Good because Pletcher wouldn't put him in here, I don't think, if he didn't think he could go that distance.
Mhm.
And I love Todd Pletcher. I think he's a hell of a trainer. And this is
Yep.
his track.
Yep.
This is where he cleans up at. So depending on what those odds are, I would say they're going to stay right in that ballpark, wouldn't you? I can't see anybody laying any money on anybody else to affect those odds. But I'm going to go with Nick's go and tell me why Life is Good is going to win, because I know you do.
Well, listen, the respect I have for these two horses, it's tremendously high. And I told my buddy Paul, and I think I maybe told Magic too, I said, we've been doing it. RacingDudes.com is 10 years old, by the way. We turned 10 in January. January 1st of January.
Really? I thought you've been around a little longer than that.
No, 10 years old in January. And anyway, so I've been doing it 10 years, and it's the hardest decision I've ever had to make. It really is. Because Nick's go has bailed us out at times. At times we've been ahead and we've been alive to him, and he's made it even better. I mean, he's been a darling for us. He was a darling for us in the Pegasus last year. We had him to win. He won. Guys, I have so much respect for him. I think Life is Good's going to take it to him. And that's the key to this race. He's got to go get him, and he has the ability to do it. Some other horses in the past, when Nick's goes lined up, we thought, well, maybe Swiss Skydiver can go up and get him. She can't. Maybe Hot Rod. No, Hot Rod Charlie's not good enough. Life is Good is fast enough. The key to the race is getting to that first turn with Nick's go on the rail. Life is Good at 4, and Life is Good. Just pin him on that rail. Pin him, make him a little bit uneasy. The backside, just make sure you're keeping him in range. But the big key where the race will be won or lost, go watch Nick's go's replays. When he is pressured on the turn, he loses. And not only does he lose, he stops. Go watch the Saudi Cup. That's a big example. Charlatan was right on him when they made the turn. And when they got to the stretch, he kept him inside. He shoved him on that rail, and Nick's go quit. If you watch Nick's go's races, when he turns for home and he's ahead by any amount, it's over. He likes to kind of float out wide and just kick it on. You're not going to catch him in the stretch. So the key is attack. You got to attack him on the turn. You got to pin him down on that rail. You got to look him right in the eye. He will quit, in my opinion, if he does that. And it's just fact that that's what he's done. Now, if he re-rallies at that point and wins, then just tip your hat, because that's something he had never done before.
Right.
You also look at Life is Good. He got passed by Jackie's Warrior. He fought back and almost won. If he had a better jockey, he may have. I just think Life is Good has the talent to put the pressure on him, put him away, and then it's just going to be a matter of, can he hold on? I think it might get closer than people think, because I think he's going to be slowing down when they get to the wire, but I don't think there's anybody quite good enough to close. So I'm going Life is Good. I think it's going to be a classic. I pray they both break well from the gate, right? Because I want to see them go head and head. And the other thing about it is, if one doesn't break well, race is over. It's gate to wire for the one that does.
Yeah. So do you think, if Life is Good can do exactly what you said, do you think Nick's go slips down to 3rd or 4th?
I think it's possible. I think it's very possible one of them wins and then the bomb is in 2nd. Because the other factor is, what if Life is Good really doesn't want to go a mile and an eighth, and they get to that turn and he's exhausted? Yeah. He'll drop out. And yeah, what if he presses Nick's, puts it to him, and he drops out? Yeah. I think that could happen. I think how you make money is you have to bet one of these two to win, okay? Or you bet one of them on top, a straight exacta, Life is Good over Stiletto Boy. Or if you like Nick's go like you do, Knicks go over, and I think Sir Winston was your third
Right.
horse.
Right.
You got to play the bomb in second, get that top choice. You got to take a stand. In single race wagers, you got to take a stand. You either got to play Knicks go or you got to play Life is Good.
Right. Because
So,
you don't want them to beat you. That would be just stupid.
yeah,
Right?
you have to take a stand. And if this is from me watching replays the last 2 days and really analyzing, that's my opinion. I think Life is Good can do what I laid out. If you think he can't and Knicks go is going to turn for home the lead, then you play him and then you find your long shot.
Let me ask you this, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Good is 4.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember now, refresh my memory. He got hurt when he was 3, right?
Yep.
The fact that he's 4 and Knicks go is 6, is he the fresher horse, you think? Because I've kind of thought that about him since Pletcher got him. It
Mm-hmm.
seems to me like he's the fresher, not just between Knicks go. I mean, he just looks like he's fresher. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Well, I think it does to a certain extent. We've seen this play out in the Pegasus before. And again, I kind of pause people when they kind of compare years and different horses because it's always different. Every situation's different. But we've seen this before where like the older, like quote unquote champion type horse gets beat here to kind of the newer up and coming type.
Yeah.
City of Light beat Accelerate. Arrogant beat California Chrome. It does feel a lot like Life is Good as the next one, and this is just the last race for Knicks go, and we're just trying one more. It does kind of have that feel to it. So again, be very careful. They're different horses. I mean, a lot of people were like, well, Echo Zulu can't win because Jackie's Warrior couldn't win last year at the Breeders' Cup. It's like, yeah, different thing.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But it feels a lot like that for sure.
Now, I'm assuming that Life is Good has been training here because Pletcher's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, has Knicks go been training somewhere else?
Yeah, Knicks go's been at the fairgrounds.
Now, does that make a difference in your opinion?
No, he prepped all up for the Pegasus World Cup last year at the fairgrounds, shipped in and dominated. Okay. So I don't think
and the shipping part doesn't bother him because they ship him everywhere.
Yeah.
Hell, he's been at Iowa.
Yeah, I know. it's a really
to give you all a little I don't know whether you want to get into, but he went to Iowa.
Yep.
And what was that he ran in there? In the
Cornhusker.
Cornhusker, which is their big race for older horses.
Yeah.
And I don't want to knock Prairie Meadows because I love it. I love going up there. I think it's a great place. And you want to just go watch horse racing. It's fantastic. Yeah. But they don't draw the best horses. And here's this champion who had been struggling. And Brad Cox sent him up there. And I remember you and I and Ricky were analyzing this.
Yeah.
And we all said, what has Brad given up on him? And he went up there and smoked them, and he's been on fire since. So Brad Cox knows what he's doing. I'll tell you for sure.
Yeah, he got him right. He definitely got him right. It's going to be a hell of a race.
It is. It's going to be a fun one.
To the point, and listen, when you draw these kind of two horses, you're just not going to get a great field when you like what Mark lays out. You got Dubai, you got Saudi, you got other spots where you can run for more money. So definitely for sure. Yeah, I got Gulfstream and Todd We Trust definitely his home track and a big time, caveat for him, I would say. Key of the race is the start. Exactly. If one of them doesn't break well, big trouble. Let's just say this says that Life is Good. It can't get the distance. He will be out at the mile marker or at the mile mark, and that will be the pressure that he needs to make him quit. Yeah, I think it's smart to play if you're going to play an exacta or even a try. Maybe just pick your one on top and leave them out. Leave the other one out underneath.
It's just not going to pay anything anyway.
And it's going to be a low risk wager. Like if you're singling a horse on top over two. You're not going to have a lot of money in it anyway. So if you lose it, it's kind of like we took a shot there. I think the only spot where you play major money is on the win.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing about it is you're going to get a good price on either one of them. So I think a win isn't a bad thought. I mean, coming out of the Breeders' Cup, if I would have said, hey, you could get even money on Knicks Go in his next race, you'd take it. Hey, you could get even money on Life is Good, you'd take it. So, that's just how it is. Over under the half ran in 44. Yeah, 44-4.
You're sick, Dennis.
I, I think it'll be over. I don't think they'll do that. I really don't. I could be wrong. I don't think they'll burn it up that quick. I think they're going to go fast, but I don't think they'll go under 44-4. I really don't.
There we go.
All right. Let's hold on.
One thing I do want to make sure we mention it later, Aaron. Isaac brought this up. Roethlisberger announced his retirement today. Let's make sure we make a comment on that later.
Well, go ahead. Make your comment on it now while I pull up Southwest.
Well, I just think, that's worth talking about a little bit. I think there's a guy that's about as good as has had a great career and needs to be mentioned that the NFL is going to miss him. I don't see the Steelers without him.
No,
he's been there forever. He's the face of that franchise. So I just wanted to mention that. What are they going to do now? We were talking about this the other night. Sandy and I were. Here's an opportunity where they're going to have to go out and get somebody that can play.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Baker Mayfield, somebody like that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's a stopgap till they get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have anybody that can take. They're in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
They may just shoot the moon and say, "Hey, we're going to rebuild." They might do that.
Let me ask you a question though. Can they really get a worse quarterback than what Ben Roethlisberger currently is?
But he is a leader, and but that's true.
I think they'll be okay. Honestly, they were not great this year with him. So
that's a good point there. A good question from
best class, our best QB out of this class: Big Ben, Eli, and Rivers. Who would you take?
I never did like Rivers because it seems like he never won a big game. I don't know whether it's just on bad teams. I don't know. He's never did care for him. I never did see him do what's necessary.
Yeah.
Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls, I think.
Yep.
He was pretty good. It's between him and Ben. I probably would have to take Ben because of the length of productivity for him. I mean, he was good for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So, I think I'd go with him, but Eli's in there pretty close.
Yeah, I'd go Big Ben, Eli, and Rivers.
Yeah.
This exactly how you have them. Are all 3 Hall of Famers? I mean, in my book, they are.
I think so.
Hall of Fame is a lot like the Eclipse Awards. Or even the racing. I don't care. I don't. Like, people are going nuts over this Barry Bonds and Clemens and.
Yeah, I do want to talk. That's going to be my one more thing.
Okay, I just couldn't care less about it. But I'll let you talk about it. All right, quickly, we'll go to the Southwest.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That definitely needed to be brought up. Quickly, we'll go to the Southwest. Field of 12 for this one. Mile 16th at Oaklawn Park. Kentucky Derby prep race, and Baffert brings in New Grange here. We also have Dash Attack. The winner of the Smarty Jones is back. All right, who do we like here?
Well, again, I'm going to let you analyze this a lot because you're the expert. This is my track, but I just haven't followed it like I usually do.
Yeah.
Because this is when the season should start normally. And I just haven't, I'm really behind. I'm really ashamed of myself, actually, but I got so much other stuff going on. I just haven't got there. I do know that Dash Attack won the Smarty Jones.
Yep.
I don't like the trainer, so it's very difficult for me to bet him.
Yep.
I did look up the horse that Baffert is bringing in, and I hope to hell he loses. But anyway, that's probably the one to bet. And I looked at the number 1 some, and I did like him. And that is a horse that's sired by, or not, is that the right word?
Yep.
By Will Take Charge, is one of our all-time favorites. I kind of like the 4 a little bit too.
Yeah.
I kind of liked him. I think Baffert's horse will probably win, if he's ready to go. So I would take him. Those are the 4 I like. I really didn't see anything else in there that I like. This is a $750,000 purse. And I want to say one point. It's going to see if you remember this because I know you do. The last time that you and I think, went to the Southwest, do you remember that day? What the weather was?
Yep.
We went for a Friday, Saturday, I think.
Yep.
On Friday, folks, we're down there and it is snowing so hard that we can't see the horses over on the backstretch.
Yeah, you couldn't see the backside at all.
You could not see the backside. They would just disappear into a wall of snow, and no one knew who was ahead till they emerged out of that wall. That was the dadgumdest thing I ever saw. And then the next day it was like 28 degrees.
Yep.
And of course, they've got plenty of inside seating at Oaklawn. So we're sitting upstairs and we're toasty. And it was about the fourth race, they decided they'd had enough. It was
the track was freezing and it was hitting the jockeys and it was breaking like their goggles when they came back. So they said, the hell with this. They're like, no, come on, it's Southwest Day. You can't stay. And anyway, we ended up, they delayed it to the next weekend. We went anyway.
Anyway, go ahead. You analyze the race for us.
That was a lot of fun. That was, I think that was like Dublin's year, wasn't it? Wasn't he in that? I'm pretty sure he was. He stumbled.
I don't know.
He stumbled out of the gate. He got second or third. Anyway, this race, I went Baffert's horse with Dugrange on top. I'm very interested in Ben Diesel from the rail. Last time out, the horse broke from the far outside, went flying up there. Just got tired late. I think a little bit better trip here, and this horse is going to have a good shot at 12-1. I like him a little bit. I'm seeing some love for Osborne. Osborne was second in the Springboard Mile last time out. I don't know. I don't see a world where he wins. I think he can hit the board. I'm just afraid he'll give it up in the end. There's a lot of speed in here, and I don't know that he'll be able to hold on all the way. But he is a nice horse. I think he is a very nice horse. So, I'm going Newgrange, Ben Diesel. Third. I think it gets kind of wild after that. I think it'll be something weird. I'm going totally against Dash Attack. The horse won the Smarty Jones, but both wins were over a sloppy track at Oaklawn. This horse is by Munnings. Munnings horses do extremely well in the slop. So I'll go against Dash Attack. He's beaten me twice already. Why not make it 3 times in a row? I just think the Baffert horse kind of is able to settle a little bit. I don't think the horse absolutely needs the lead. For Mark, he's going Osborne. He's going 6-10-2, which is Dash Attack, and 8 Barber Road.
I looked at him too.
Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah. He's not bad. Let's see. Dennis says, I think if you previously bet Ben Diesel at 4-1 in the 14, you got to play him back at 10-1 on the rail. Horse I'm liking is Osborne. I'm a sucker for the Springboard Mile, and for some reason he says, and got a jockey change today for Moquette. So listen, Moquette always has a horse in these, and he aims for these, and sometimes he does all right. So
he very seldom wins these though.
Yeah, and Dennis says, Magic says he likes Osborne, and Dennis says, hey, thanks, I'll change my picks. Oh gosh. So all right. So we're going with Baffert here with this one. So
going for Baffert and hoping we're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's a single or anything like that. I definitely think you need to play 2 or 3 in here. It's kind of odd. This horse comes back on only 4 weeks rest. Usually they're a little bit longer away. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. You probably haven't looked at the King Cotton. The question is, does Nashville bounce back on Saturday? I think he runs better, but he's still got Hollis in there who beat him pretty easily. I haven't decided on that one yet, Mark. I'll do that tomorrow morning. I don't know. That's it. I lean Nashville, but I don't know. We'll see. What string of horses that on Baffert? His B or C? That's the question. I don't know. I think it's his B horse, Dennis, if I had a guess. I think it's probably his second. So we'll find out on Saturday for sure. All right. You said you had, do you want to call it a rant, or do you just want the one more thing about Barry Bonds?
Okay.
Go ahead and go to that.
Well, I got a couple things.
Okay.
First, we spent a lot of time talking about Caleb Williams, the ex-quarterback of OU. He still hasn't committed anywhere.
Yeah.
Are you not shocked?
I can't explain it. It's to the point now where I I've lost interest.
Well, everybody in Oklahoma has.
I don't
They've
care.
gone.
I don't care.
It's got to be about money now, I would
Yeah.
think. I
The
mean,
latest is he's going to Wisconsin.
going to Wisconsin, and think about that for a little bit. You college football fans, they've never had a dynamic quarterback at Wisconsin. He doesn't fit that image that they have at all. That would be, well, they had Russell Williams, Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
and that was, that was totally different for them, and it worked out well.
Yeah.
Man, they would suddenly become a player, wouldn't they, in the Big Ten if this guy is everything we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think when this whole thing started, anybody thought he was going to go to Wisconsin. That's totally strange.
Yeah.
But I was listening this morning. He's going to have to sign this week because that's the last day that you can enroll or something and still be able to participate in spring practice, I think. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up.
Crazy.
On the Hall of Fame thing, how one more. Here's another thing, too. Isn't it interesting? I have been bitching about this for 20 years, and that's the overtime rule in the NFL. And suddenly everybody is saying they need to get rid of it.
I know.
Where have these people been?
Yeah, well, many of them have been with us. It's just the powers that be that just are like, I just don't get it.
I've never heard them raging about it like they are now.
Oh, like 2-3 years ago when it happened to Mahomes, people did the same thing. Hey, that's the thing. They rage when it happens, and then when it's time to change, it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Unbelievable. I kind of think they're going to do something this time. I think the outrage is that they're gonna do something. But the Bonds and the Clemens and all this, and I'm old, so you probably aren't going to think I'm going to say this, but it wasn't illegal when they were playing. They didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah.
It became illegal after they retired, or they may have played a year or two after they made this all. How many players were taking steroids during that time period?
Mm-hmm.
How can you punish somebody for doing something when it's not illegal?
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that Big Papi wasn't doing that?
Well, he has a failed test on his
total
resume.
Bullshit.
I know.
All it is they don't like Bonds and they don't like Clemens, the people who vote for him.
Yeah.
And I don't either.
Yeah.
But are you going to try to tell me that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens aren't two of the best players ever to play the game of baseball?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How many home runs did Barry Bonds hit before he suddenly was supposed to be on steroids?
Yeah. Yeah. That just did about Barry Bonds. I wish he never would have done this because he was a Hall of Fame baseball player before.
So was Clemens.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
What did he win the Cy Young 7 times?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, folks, I absolutely hate him. I don't like Clemens. I never liked Clemens. But this is nuts. And then Sosa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Sammy Sosa was a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah.
And I loved watching when him and McGuire were going through that. You guys may be too old to remember that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I just don't. Now, the one guy that I do agree with, and some of you may not, and that's Rose. I don't think Pete Rose should be in there because gambling on baseball is taboo. It's in every locker room throughout anywhere you go. You cannot gamble on baseball if you're a part of baseball. You can't do it. He did it. He lied. And I don't think he should be in there. But these other guys, if you vote Ortiz in, how can you not vote the other two?
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. It's a shame. And I don't get that, okay, now they can never be in now that it's past a certain amount of years. Why is that? I thought that was an odd thing. I didn't know that was a rule. I don't follow it. So
yeah. And I don't understand some of the things. You got, this is bad, but Mickey Mantle was a drunk.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
He was a drunk. He's in, and I love Mickey. I don't get anything about man. Some of those guys that are in there are not good people.
Yeah, no.
And it's just I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I is just I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't care enough to really get upset about it, I guess. But it just doesn't make a lot of sense that we're allowing someone to get in and not others, and it just seems like like said, I think Mark said it's like a scapegoat, basically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're taking the heat for what everybody else did. Mark McGuire's another one.
Yeah,
I don't know that McGuire's statistics are quite, that good.
Let me ask you this: what does that word mean there that Magic says? Does Pete Rose make it?
After he dies,
Sometimes the person dying changes.
Close. That word means after he's dead.
Okay.
Magic and I are a little smarter than you.
Now wait a second. Hasn't Pete Rose went through his time? Like he can't be elected, right?
The Veterans Committee can put him in.
Well, can the veteran committees not put these other guys in?
They can. Yeah.
Oh, well then I don't give a shit about this. I thought it was over for good.
I don't think it's over for good.
Okay.
Now, and again, I want to clarify something. Pete Rose was one of the greatest baseball players I ever saw. He was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stand him, but he was one of the best baseball players I ever saw. What a competitor.
Yep.
But you can't gamble on baseball. You just can't do it. That's one of the rules that you cannot do.
No.
And so anyway, Mark's he's on fire today. But
if Mark says when Pete Rose dies, the wagering pool on the Reds games will go down, Magic. Also, the wagering pools on most of the horse racing tracks will go down as well. He's an avid horse player. So,
but anyway,
I'm glad Magic's trying to kill him off and hurt our handle. But thanks, Magic.
I just don't understand why. If I was, I would have. I mean, to not put Roger Clemens, maybe one of the 10 best pitchers ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a mean SOB, I tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he played for a long time and he was good. And I tell you what, it's pretty damn hard to hit a baseball, whether you're on steroids or not, and knock it over the fence as many times as I don't think I'd be able to hit a baseball if I was on steroids and hit it over. I don't know.
Magic says it'd be extremely unlikely for the Veterans Committee to change a hard-held policy like that, what the main committee is holding against the juicers. So
you're probably right. And I would say probably most of the Veterans Committee are old guys, I would think.
Dennis says, if you laugh at a joke after the joke is done, are you laughing posthumously? So that's what I thought.
That is really good, Dennis. That is good stuff.
Joshua Eubank says we should have Pete Rose on sometime. That would be fantastic.
Oh, I'd love to have that son of a bitch on. I would really love it.
Okay. Let's see. Should I kind of promote our site a little bit as we leave?
Oh, we didn't get to basketball. We didn't get to talk about our big night last night.
We're gonna do that, and then I have my thing, and then we're gonna be out of here. All right.
Do your thing. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna show everybody.
You're upset. I can tell you're upset.
No, I'm not. So here are like all of our articles. We still do articles, obviously. Papa Dude does these. We've got football going up. If you want a hockey parlay tonight, I've got that up for you. We're doing a 5-teamer tonight, $20 into 177. Like all this shit is free. By the way. This is all free stuff. Okay, so make sure to check this out. This is what he's talking. This is what Papa Dude's talking about. He played. Let's see. He played a 3-team parlay last night in the NBA for $40. It returned 146.73. So,
and here's the key.
Okay,
I didn't have to sweat it.
No, these were just he played the Hawks, the Clippers, and then the Heat minus the 6. And
the only one I had to sweat was the Clippers.
Yeah, and
they played the worst team in the league, and they won by like 8, I think it was.
Yeah,
the other two. Do you know though? I was watching that last one. The last one was the Heat. They had to win by 6, I think it was. Yeah. And I just sitting there, and it was on TV.
Yep.
And they had the subs in, and they were screwing around, and I just knew they were going to let that thing get down to
yeah.
So anyway, that was fun. I love it.
on these articles, what you're going to get every day, you'll get his best bet against the spread, and then when he likes a parlay, he'll do it. He didn't have one today because we're light in the
It's
NBA.
2 teams.
Well, light in the NBA, and then college sucks today, so we didn't do. But we'll have parlays, and then you'll get your the money line pick for the rest of the game. So you've got all of his picks. It's just kind of the order of confidence as far as best bet. Here's the parlay, and then here's the rest of them if you still want to gamble on some. So check that out. Like I say, every day, and then also he hit the parlay in basketball as well. It made $98. A little bit of a safer one here: Notre Dame, Indiana, and then Arkansas minus the 4. And then, like I said, same thing. There's your money line bets. You want those parlays. Here's your best bet of the night against the spread. So that's what we're doing. We're liking it. I just did this one tonight so I could get a Blues player on our site. So anyway, check that out. We got a lot of stuff on the sports site that's new and exciting. So anything else, Papa Dude?
I like the goalie you put on there.
Yeah, Huso. I wouldn't put Bennington on there.
Okay.
You and Mark would throw a fit if I put Bennington on there. So.
It's a big weekend of horse racing.
Yeah.
We got football on Sunday, some great basketball games. Just very quickly, the SEC and the Big 12, 2 of the best conferences in basketball this year, are playing each other.
Yeah.
And there's 10 games, and 6 of those games involve top 25 teams. And the highlight of the one is Kentucky goes to Kansas.
Yeah.
And that's number 12 against number 7, I think.
Yeah.
So
the number 1 team in the country is going down on Saturday too.
Well, OU won a huge game last night.
Right.
As far as trying to get into the tournament, that was a must. If they can play Auburn close Saturday, that's going to help them. I don't think they necessarily have to beat them, but if they can play within 8 or 9 on the road at Auburn, that's going to help them, I think. But that was a big win for them last night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I wanted to, Auburn damn near lost to Missouri.
Yeah, they did. They choked. Oh, they choked in that game.
Clay Thompson, Isaac talking about. I know he's a huge Warriors fan. By the way, Isaac, let's see. Yes, Papa Dude and I both have the Warriors. I knew we did.
Because of you, Isaac, I picked the Warriors.
I picked them because they're playing Minnesota as well. So
no, I always think of Isaac with the
now
Warriors.
We're against each other. I think the Lakers pull the upset tonight over the 76ers.
Well, that's a toss-up game, no question.
They both have Golden State.
You never know.
Sylvan keeps asking, what time we going live Saturday? I think we'll be live for the last 4 races at Gulfstream. I don't know what time that is, but yeah, last 4 at Gulfstream, maybe the last 5, definitely the last 4, maybe the last 5. So yeah, we'll be here for a few hours. So everybody, well, I think Mike's at NHC, everybody else is at home, so should be no excuses. We may not get Samage to come on. He's got bigger fish to fry. So, but yeah, we'll be on at last 4 or 5 races at Gulfstream. All right, this is it. That's it. That is my final thing. I flash it up on the screen now. If you're listening, not watching, Danhausen is all elite. He showed up last night in AEW. You can ask Heather. She's sitting right here. I screamed. I said, "That's Danhausen. That's who I've been telling you about." I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. Papa Dude, did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Mark asks, "Is that Gene Simmons?"
What channel is that on?
What's that?
What channel is that on?
That's on TBS.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no, TBS from 7 to 9 Central Time. It was great. So Danhausen was hiding under the ring, and another wrestler went to grab a chair out of the ring, and he couldn't grab it, and he pulled it out, and it was Danhausen. And the crowd went crazy, and he cursed the guy, and the guy lost, and then he just walked out. So it was great. It was great. I'm very, very, very happy to see Danhausen. Huge fan, independent wrestler for a long time, was at Ring of Honor, but really just built up his following through YouTube and Twitter. I mean, the guy's just hysterical on that stuff. Built a huge following. Everybody was praying he would show up in AEW, and it happened last night. So it was fantastic.
I'm glad you liked it.
Another great episode of Dudes Who Bet Sportshausen, Curtis says. That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Sylvan says, I don't care who this is.
I don't either. Oh, this is unbelievable.
Heather was like, he's gonna get old really fast. You know that, don't you? I was like, no, he's not. He's like, yes, he is. So she's not a fan.
Okay, so she didn't like him.
No, she's not a fan. She doesn't know who he is. She only just watches and follows AEW, and of course, he hasn't been there yet. So no, he doesn't know. He kind of looked at me like, that's Danhausen. But I'm not impressed. So
okay.
I said only the trolls on the internet and you are upset today, Heather. So, but Heather doesn't like CM Punk very well either. So what about Punk versus MJF in Chicago? I mean, magic. I've got a countdown on my phone. I can't wait. So very excited. Heather, what do you think? CM Punk and MJF, who's winning? CM Punk. Heather says CM Punk will win that.
She said CM Punk?
Yeah, CM Punk. Yep. Dina says she's not a fanhausen of Danhausen. Divorce? No. You don't like him, right? No, shook her head. Okay.
Mark said he'd rather watch People's Court than AEW.
Magic says Divorcehausen.
Magic has hit on something that he thinks is gold, but it's kind of a one-horse deal, a one-hit thing there.
No,
it's getting old. It's getting old.
Danhausen does that, though. That's
okay. I'm sorry. It is pretty funny.
Magic said, I'm just reading this to see if Heather will laugh. Magic says, just tell Heather he smuggles a squirrel in his pants like Darby. She'll suddenly love it. That one got to look. Magic. All right. We got it. This is it. Too much fun. Okay. We're heading out. All right. Any final thoughts? I'm the one that took us off the rails today.
You did.
It's not your fault.
I don't have any final thoughts. Great show.
Okay. Magic, hit up in the comments when Magic Mike show is. I do want to promote that. While you comment that, Blinkers Off will be on later tonight as well. Obviously, we'll be talking about the Pegasus in depth. Magic, I believe, will be doing the late pick 4 at Gulfstream Park. He's got a special guest, so I'll let him tell me what time, and then I'll promote that. So it's going to be good. We got a lot of stuff going on. The guide should be out tonight. Jared's going to hop on here as soon as we're done, and we're going to finish the guide and get that going as well. So, here we go. Live at 5 p.m. Eastern time with special guest handicapper Barry Spears. Barry Spears really does a great job with all the content he puts out on Twitter. And I believe he's on a podcast as well. Really good follow on Twitter. Really, really sharp handicapper, especially at Gulfstream Park. So I'm happy to have Barry on. That's going to be good as well. So, all right, Papa Dude, we're getting off here. It was fun as always.
You bet.
Very nice, very evil, Papa Dude. You're both very nice, very evil. And we will see you on Monday, Hausen. Good luck to all our fanhausens. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit